going to ask you some questions which people have asked at retreats, in conversations with you. And so, what I have done is I have just classified these questions under certain headings. So, the first heading that I would start with would be why structure and systematization in Amanaska Yoga. So, my first question would be how does Amanaska Yoga differ in content from the pristine original works of the world teacher Sri J. Krishnamurti?
The pristine original works of the world teacher, Sri J. Krishnamurti, they represent the source. And in order to put the question into better relief, let us think of that as a colossal mountain stream cascading down the heights or a waterfall. And many people go there to that waterfall to slake their thirst and to receive it in their hands or receive it in a pitcher or an urn. And they may do this even on a daily basis. And but the important point is that the waterfall at the source has got a certain pristine quality. But the moment you assimilate it and internalize it, then it is modified by your educational background, even the language that you speak, and your socio-cultural values and matrix in which you're embedded, and even the religion which you have imbibed from your childhood. All of that is going to serve as an apparatus for you to facilitate the assimilation and the internalization. Now, while it is a very helpful thing that you come with so much of wherewithal in order to receive the pristine water, at the same time, it may also happen that they prove to be a disadvantage because your religious conditioning and your socio-cultural conditioning could also be having some prejudices, and they may not be advantageous for you. But whatever it is, if 10 different people or 100 different people come to this waterfall where there is this pristine water, and they receive that water into their lives, into their minds, and into their consciousness, then everyone is going to do it in a different way. And we should not pretend that there has to be a uniform way in which the teachings will be internalized and the teachings will be assimilated. That's not possible. It's very much like you look at the Bhagavad Gita, which is a halo text from the Hindu world, and you see that there are more than 100 commentators who have commented on the Gita, each in a very original way, according to what he thinks is right, according to his intellectual conviction, and according to his understanding of the Sanskrit language and his command of the English language or whatever language he's going to translate that into. All of that gets into the commentary on the Gita, and therefore we have got to make allowance for that. And so coming to me in particular, I happen to have developed a method of systematic thinking because I was exposed to theoretical physics for many years, and I was interested in mathematics in theoretical physics, and so that's part of my my outlook with which I come to the waterfall with the pristine waters. And therefore, when I absorb the whole thing, assimilated it, and when I want to share it with you or anybody else, then I'm going to put it in that form of very systematic structure. Now, I don't have to offer an apology why I've systematized Krishnamurti's teachings, because if you look at the religious literature, the Upanishads, and even the Gita and the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, you find that these are highly systematized assimilation of some primordial original truth according to the understanding of the rishi or the sage who happened to have absorbed it. So in that sense, I'm not going to offer an apology why I systematized it and structured it as though it is something like the Yoga Sutras.
That actually has answered my question, because I was going to ask you why is the online course, why are you saying that the Amanaska online course is highly systematized and structured? So you've answered part of it. And my next question following that would be, was that I was just trying to understand why you have taken the huge corpus of the world teachers' writings and dialogues and public talks, and why have you systematized and structured the whole thing? So, I mean, you have already kind of taken taken the words out of my mouth. Okay, so now
Okay, that's the question.
that was going to be
Okay.
my question, but you have already answered that.
Not fully yet.
Okay,
No,
okay.
no. You see, my view is that I can't claim to have got into the whole thing extremely intentionally. I won't say that. For one thing, when each one of us makes a certain move in our day to day life, or a move in the span of a decade or in the span of 2 decades, much as we may think that we are making that move very intentionally, the truth is that the divine actually drives us to move in that direction, to take that leap in that particular direction. Now, I was initiated into the lifetime work of Sri J. Krishnamurti by my late mother, who knew him from the time she was 6 years old, because she was a student of the Rishi Valley School. And my philosopher friend, most significantly, initiated me very profoundly and very deeply into the deep waters of the world teacher's teaching. And therefore, I came to a certain a point in my life when it was extremely natural for me, just like breathing, to dedicate my life to the world teacher Sri J. Krishnamurti. And in fact, I told my philosopher friend that I have no other goal in life except to polish the master's shoes and wash his clothes. Now you got to understand what I'm talking. Now this is a dedication which has come very naturally to me, and because I have got no other distracting mission in life, so I went the whole hog.